EZ FLATE family, it's Katie. I am going to bring you along in a little bit of our Easter Dupe Safari prep. Preston's out in the garage right now. We are working on a few modifications for the Heap, our XJ. We are changing up the front end in our axle. So I'll go ahead and bring you out there, kind of see what we're doing and have Preston kind of walk you through what he's doing, kind of the ins and outs of what else we're planning on for Easter Dupe Safari. Hey Preston.
Hi.
Got a lot going on here, huh?
Yep.
Look at all that. What are you working on here, Preston?
Right now, we're getting ready for EJS. EJS is about, I think, 2 weekends away.
Mm-hmm.
And I am currently setting up a helical limited slip from Spartan and USA Standard Gear, and they're kind enough to send me that because I'm sponsored by them, which is pretty cool. I'm quite excited to run their stuff. I've been running their stuff for a while though now. I've got a Spartan locker in the rear, and if you guys follow the Jeep build on my Instagram, you know that at one point I had a a lunchbox locker in the front that it was just a tad bit too aggressive, especially for the Idaho winter roads up here. So I decided to go with a helical, and I reached out to Spartan, and they were kind enough to sponsor me, and very excited to work with them. And I've had good luck with their products so far. And so right now I'm actually adjusting the pinion depth, adding some shims. Got a shim stack here. Just trying to get my pattern right in line where I want it, so keep it reliable and strong, and get the correct gear mesh to keep that Dana 30 alive. I know it's kind of small and
still rocking the Dana 30.
Yeah, it's still going on 35s, and it does okay. I think most of it's just being sensible with your right foot and not too much skinny pedal. But that's what I'm doing right now. We got lots of projects in the garage, as you can tell, and it's wrecked. But right now it's EJS and doing work on the Jeep after my normal 10-hour days. But it's a lot of fun, so that's what we like to do. This is our shop doggo. His name's Rocky. Rocky, hey, can you sit?
Hey, can you look at the camera?
But you're supposed to look the other way.
Hi, buddy.
He's a good dog. But
He is a
anyways,
good dog.
over the XJ, in preparation of EJS, I was able to put new anti-rock sway bar on it, and steering stabilizer on it, just to make a little more the road manners a little bit better. And I'm actually very excited to see how the anti-rock works off-road, if it can kind of hold a little more traction, kind of put a little more pressure on the wheel that's got the least amount of pressure, or transfer some of the weight to the loose wheel. And I think that's going to pair really well with the limited slip, because as we know with helicals, they need traction to work on any limited slip. It helps if they have a little bit of traction.
So how does a helical work exactly? I know you explained to me before, but I don't entirely understand.
I don't know if I'm good enough to explain it, but I do know that it's a mechanical limited slip, so it doesn't use friction packs, or I just know it doesn't use. I know it doesn't use friction packs to I guess tie both axle shafts together. I have no idea. Magic. It uses magic, and
it obviously works really well because it's.
I know that people have good luck with them. I know Humvees, the military uses them.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I think it'll be quite good.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Will you go lay down?
Good. So, anti-rock sway bar.
Yeah, it was a little tricky running this because I'm running WJ knuckles. They're off a Grand Cherokee. It's kind of nice because I've got them flipped for high steer, and then the drag link has its own separate mount on that knuckle over there. Since I'm using the WJ knuckles, the standard sway bar end link mounts on the axle have been removed. So I kind of did some homemade ones, fabricated some homemade ones to get the mounts up out of the way. They seem plenty strong, and I think they'll perform well. We'll find out at EJS.
So we can take this off, right? Or does the sway bar stay on the entire time?
Sway bar stays on the entire time.
Really?
That's what's cool about the...
Why didn't I know that? For some reason I thought it still came off, but that's kind of neat.
Now it just stays on. It helps transfer the weight of the vehicle, and less body roll. And if there's less body roll, it'll keep weight where it needs to be on the tires that have the least amount of traction.
Mm. So what's all the yellow paint for?
It's called gear marking compound.
Mm.
It helps us read the pattern between the pinion and the ring gear. That helps us visualize how the mesh, how the two gears are meshing together, if they're meshing correctly or not. And by the pattern, we judge the pattern and then adjust the shims accordingly to what we see on the pattern. There's a little bit of resistance.
So why do it both ways?
Because you need to check the pattern on both sides of the tooth.
Mm. How's it looking?
Looks better.
Yeah.
So you're looking for the pattern to be centered between
I don't want to get metal slivers in my hand.
the valley and then the top of the tooth.
Mm.
You want it centered in there, and that's gonna tell you if you need to add more or less shims. And then once you get that, you're able to, in a nutshell,
Be good to go.
be good to go.
What song is this? Ah. What are you doing? That's a big dog, huh?
I know this is kind of, I don't know, shop conditions aren't very clean. Okay, we're good. We got the pattern set up. Katie's my garage helper. Rocky's a talking dog.
Yeah, you did a good job too, buddy. Go lay down.
Rocky held down the bed.
Yes, the important stuff. That's basically it, everything that we've done. I say we, I really mean Preston. I just sit and wait to be told what I need to grab.
It helps.
I don't know if there's anything else besides this that we're going to be doing to the Jeep before EJS.
No, maybe an oil change or just top it off with oil.
Mm-hmm. Don't want another new engine situation.
Yeah. I think I am going to do a couple, I'm going to replace the front brake lines because I got one that's stretched and maybe questionable to be driving your family around with maybe a bad brake line, but hey, we all make mistakes.
We actually do drive this from Idaho. We live here in Idaho. The rest of the EZ FLATE family is down in Utah. We're up here in southeastern Idaho. So we do, until we get a whole entire towing setup in the future, we do drive this down, which again is why we put the sway bar on and
The limited slip.
the limited slip along
Make
with
it a little more drivable.
yeah, the steering stabilizer. It was a little fun and interesting driving it down to Sand Hollow in January. So hopefully this will make it a little bit better. Don't expect snow, hopefully on our way down to Moab, but you never know. It's still snowing here and it's March, so.
Yeah, it is. What is it? It's the...
March 22nd. It's spring. Technically it's spring, and yet there is still...
It's literally snowing as we speak outside.
Yeah, so...
I'm getting sick of it. All right, you guys have a good one. We'll see you out on the trail.
So we have some sad news to share. Yeah, Rocky's even sad.
I was driving it to work yesterday, and what happened was I got a check engine light at the stoplight before I get on the freeway, and it was a P0340 for the camshaft position sensor code. And I've had that code before. It's usually just this guy goes bad, but it was still running good actually. I'll just go to work and then I'll order the part and I can replace it at work. And I was like, I was a little nervous, but I thought I'd make it. But essentially what happened is this is a junkyard motor, and yeah, I cleaned it up a bit and made it look nice before I put it in. And it's ran like a top for 7 months. I woke up in the morning, was gonna take it to work to get a little bit of miles on the new limited slip up front and the bearing kit, and just make sure everything's worked in before, you know, what, a 500 mile trip. Essentially, this engine is a stock engine that had, when I went through it, it looked like someone had been through it before me. Looked like it had new bearings. I plastic gauged all the bearings. It had a high volume oil pump. And I drove it to work that morning, or attempted to drive it to work that morning. I got that code for the camshaft position sensor. And then what happened was it lost oil pressure while I was on the freeway. Lost oil pressure, and within 45 seconds the engine seized up. It was so fast. I didn't even get a low oil pressure light on the dash. How fast it seized up. Did you say it made a noise? Yeah, it started running like garbage, and then about 30 seconds later it stopped dead in its tracks. Katie flat towed me home, and I was able to find that due to the high volume oil pump that I did not install, that was just in there and I left it in there, it ate I guess this is called, it's essentially a distributor gear, that this is driven off the camshaft, and then this drives the oil pump. And as you can see, it ate all those gears up. And I lost oil pressure, and that led to catastrophic failure, to the point I can't even turn the engine over. It's locked up solid. So I don't know to be mad or sad or what, but sometimes it doesn't pay to put a junkyard motor in it.
Unfortunate. What do you think the plan is from here on out?
What I want to do is I'm gonna pull the engine out. I assume all the bearings are cooked in it. Cam bearings are probably smoked. I can't turn it over at all, so what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna remove the timing cover, get the chain off of it, undo the valve train, and see if I can turn the crank over so I don't have to pull the torque converter out when the engine comes out. If I can get it to turn over, that'll help me getting it out. Plan is pull the engine out and do it right. Do it right the first time.
Well, it's not like you did it wrong the first time.
So sometimes it doesn't pay to cut corners, so we're doing this twice. I've had bad luck with 4 liters, man, I tell you what.
I know, and they're the ones that are supposed to run forever, right?
These things are supposed to run forever.
So that's our plan, at least Preston's plan for right now. Tear it apart, make sure that we can send it to the machine shop, make sure it's not totally out of the works. The hope is, right now, is to make it into a stroker. Preston always considers, is now the time to LS swap it, is now the time. I've always thought putting a diesel in it would be really cool, but I think right now just trying to time crunch, get it done, and also budget friendly, you know, trying to make sure that everything just works out in our favor. So we're gonna take you along our journey so you can see kind of what the process is, and hopefully you can see the heap be resurrected for the 3rd time.